Hi Africa, my name is Chu. My label is CHULAAP. I'm based in Cape Town, South Africa. What makes the fashion show successful? I think firstly, you need the good conceptual. I think the concept is very important for the good show. And I think focus also very important for the good show because you need to know, or I must know or understand what I'm doing for each collection. Like for example, for this collection, I got inspired from the mountain people in Lesotho. And because the way they're dressing like maybe 4 seasons a day or 6 seasons a day. They start from laying lots of knit and then end up with a t-shirt because like they got, as I said, like 4 seasons a day. I think that's a trick. And then you probably have to research some fabric. I think fabrication is very important, especially I'm talking about like in general in Africa. I think the fabrication is very tricky in Africa because we don't have the resource of the most beautiful silk. And I think we have a lot of problem with, I think the price is very important. That's why my collection is made in South Africa mainly, and I'm using 100% cotton. Even the knitwear, I make it in South Africa, Cape Town. If you're asking me about how or why I choose the first phase, for me, mainly it's not the most important for my collection because for me, my collection is about entertaining the audience. They come to see the clothes, not only the models. But the first phase must be able to work with the clothes. And I think the walk is more important than the phase I'm talking about now. I mean, like if you look at like 15 years ago, you will look at the most beautiful girls, beautiful boys. But for me now, I will look at the most interesting boy or interesting girl. I'm talking about the look. I think, especially personally for my collection, I like the weirdest. That's the most important or the most interesting. When it's the most beautiful boy, beautiful girl, that sometimes make the collection look boring and not too modern. I think I'm looking at more like modern look and modern models. That's taking my clothes to another level. I think that's the most important for the first thing. I think in general, when you're choosing the model, you probably have to focusing into, definitely is the walk is very important. That's how to presenting the collection. I think it's important how to work with the clothes. I think another thing that the new models now currently they have to understand the clothes. They have to got a good taste because if you pick some model that doesn't understand clothes, it doesn't help your collection. And also, personally for me, I like long and lean models, both males and females, because the clothes, I do lots of layering. If you get the big girl or the big guy, it doesn't look appealing on the stage when you put 4 pieces on top of each other. But it depends on the market as well. If you're doing more like t-shirt or underwear, lingerie, that you're going to get looking for the curvy female or the big built body for the male. Yeah. Actually, if we're talking about walk, I probably prefer, or in general, most of designers we prefer straight walk, back and forward, no posing, which is that the new look, not like walk and pose. I think just only one round up and down and just concentrate, focus, not hand on the hips, because that we call like teacup. I mean, we're talking about like 10 years ago, but now it's just like there's no mood, there's no feeling. Working with the clothes is more flowing, I think. I think that's the words I want to use. How's Africa evolving in fashion? I think this is what's happening now in the world, actually in fashion world, in the models world, because most of the top models, dark skin, strong, walk fast, understand clothes. It's like you hanging clothes on the hanger. I think African models hang well, the clothes hang well on them because I mean like bone structure, the skin tone, and the look, whatever they're wearing. I mean, for me personally, I use only dark skin models, only ethnic model that will make the look modern. Whatever they're wearing, they carry it off like amazingly.
Welcome back. And if you're just joining us, this is Catwalk Focus, the art of walking down the runway. Up next is an interview with the icon, David Lale. David Lale is a successful, renowned fashion designer based in Johannesburg, South Africa. He is known for his craft that advocates for himself. He has showcased on major Fashion Week platforms across the globe, such as New York Fashion Week, Cape Town Fashion Week, Paris Fashion Week, and much more. Let us find out what David considers a successful fashion show right here on Catwalk Focus. Enjoy.
My name is David Lale. I'm a fashion designer based in Johannesburg, South Africa. What makes a successful fashion show is, number one, understanding as a design house or as a brand, what's your narrative, what message you want to get across, and also what business or what target market you are actually aiming for, and knowing what messaging that you want to say to the world about brands that are made in Africa, brands that are made by Africans, and production is key, music is key, the models are everything, because if the models cannot carry your garments, as a designer, you have a big challenge. So everything, I mean, from hair, makeup, music, the stage, the lighting, you know, it all comes together. You can't just like leave one out and saying it's not important. I think a good runway model is all about the attitude that they have and how they carry themselves and the persona that they carry all the time. And understanding, very important, that models need to understand that you are actually selling the product. And how are you going to convince that person that's sitting in the audience that actually I look good, I feel good, and you deserve to buy this product. Catwalk first face is very important, meaning it's either you are a fresh face that is like groundbreaking, or you can be the face of the brand that opens the show for a designer. And I can always say to people, the first face and the showstopper models are the most key. Not that everybody else is not key or important, but the first face and the showstopper model are the ones that actually determine and also sets the pace for the entire show for a designer. Well, the iconic look varies from a designer. I believe an iconic look is that look that a designer wants to be remembered for or remembered with. When they say, oh, we went to a David Lale showcase and we definitely saw that black sequin suit And that is the iconic look that is timeless. And the brand has been producing this product over the years in different fabrications, in different colors, but the cuts and the looks and the silhouette stays the same. How should a model walk for me? I would say with confidence, with pizzazz, and also with attitude that is not overbearing, but understanding that you're carrying a brand that is trying to sell and promote itself. I believe the climate, or where we are as an African continent in terms of fashion, we are rising, and because the world is starting to pay attention to us. I mean, you look at, all the attributes that are happening around us. First of all, you look at the likes of Laduma starting to, sell in Paris or in America, and you start seeing the likes of Kenneth Eze from Nigeria. You look at Tebe Magugu, who just won the LVMH Prize Talent. You look at the likes of Rich Mnisi, who's won the Essence Designer of the Year. So there's a lot that is happening in the continent, but outside the continent, the world is starting to pay attention to who we are, how we do things. You look at the likes of Vogue, the British Vogue, the new editor Edward, which is like doing phenomenal work. And now the world is starting to pay attention to saying there is something that is happening in Africa, there is something that is growing in the continent, whether it be aesthetics, would be textiles, would be color, it be designs. We know that we are starting to understand the business of fashion, and we're no longer doing just fashion weeks for the sake of just doing fashion week. We come to fashion week to showcase the product and sell the product. We have like different buyers markets, whether it be SA Fashion Week or African Fashion International, whether it be the GT Bank or it be Zenith Bank. You can see that there's a beautiful texture and understanding that product does not only live on the runway, but people need to consume it. And it goes beyond that, how people are starting to take care of their wardrobes. They have personal stylists, personal designers, for families, for friends, and I think it's what makes the industry grow. And also there's a beautiful take of saying Africa is a very individual continent, and it's in a holistic manner, whether it be in approach, in wearing clothes or anything else. But Africa is rising, and Africa is taking over the world by storm. Final word, I would say it is very important for the fashion industry in the continent, from designers, models, hair and makeup artists, and also the entire creative industry, it be DJs and musicians. Let's start collaborating, let's start believing in one another, and let's be patriotic and make Africa great again, because this is it, and this is who we are.
Yes, and that's what we're talking about. Welcome back. And that was the voice of an icon, South African-based designer, David Tlale. And just before that was Chu Suwannapha, the owner of CHULAAP label. This is where we call it a wrap on this episode of Catwalk Focus. Do join us next time for more Catwalk Focus. I remain your host, Jimmy Stereo, because I say so.